as well. So let's not do it too thin. Make sure the bulk of that product is in the center, which is where your apex is. And then you can just do the length that you require. Just make sure, and I'll turn it over in a minute and I'll show you. I had a few air bubbles there. Just popping them out and then smoothing it back out. You can turn it round and you can see where it needs more product. So I'm not overly fussed. So now I'm going to base coat. And then I'm going to cure that. So now we're going to apply the dual form onto that. Now you can see here I'm barely pressing down on the product. That product only needs to make contact with your nail. You can put a gentle push on, but you don't want to push it to the point where it all squeezes out. That to me is telling me that you've got too much product. Or you're pushing too hard. Now, I didn't need to smooth the underside out because I hadn't pushed that hard. There was barely any product there, and you'll see in a minute how thin it is underneath. So now I'm going to take my 180 grit file and I'm just going to smooth around that cuticle area. I'm sorry I'm a little bit out of shot. It's a bit hard to film yourself and file at the same time. Making sure my side walls are nice and straight. You can see there, that was nice and thin. I didn't need to smooth the underside because I hadn't pushed it down too far. I just made contact with my nail and gave it one little gentle push down, not to the point where all the product is seeping out. So it's all about being gentle, but making sure that it's actually made contact with your nail. You can see there that it was nice and thin on the underside. Here I'm just literally going over the whole nail. I didn't need to because it was nice and smooth and my application in the dual form was nice and neat. So there wasn't really any need for me to go over it, but I always do. I always go over any work that I've done. I'm taking my metal file, going up down those side walls, making sure that it's nice and straight. And I do faff about with it a bit. I'll buff it and then I'll find a little bit that needs filing, and yeah. As I did there. There was a little bit that was a little bit of a step, but just remember, if you do have a step, it's okay because you've got a file and you'll be filing it down anyway. So always do around your cuticles first, then your side walls, and then over the barrel of the nail. That's what I do. That's how I get my nails, the way I get mine. And there we go. That's the nail done. You can see there how thin it is. That's what we want, nice and thin underneath. There's a nice apex as well, which, if you look at the shape of the dual form, you do get your apex from your dual form. If you've applied enough into that area, the centre of where you're applying your gel, then you will be fine. As you can see, you know, they do have their own curve. So now, this is not really relevant, but I was just trying to show you me doing an ombre. If you don't have white gel, then you can just use a bit of paint. I use gel paint here because obviously I don't have no white flexigel because we haven't got none. And there was a load of fluff on my little applicator there, so I had to get rid of all that. Let's try again. I wasn't overly fussed with the ombre, to be honest. Now we're just going to top coat. And then we're going to cure it. Then we're going to wait a couple of seconds or about a minute before applying any cuticle oil. Like I said, I'm just checking over that nail, making sure everything is how I want it to be. Yes, Amelia. Applying that cuticle oil underneath and around the cuticles. Don't rub it directly over the nail, rub it around the nail. And I do quickly show you here the apex. So there's my apex there. And in your jewel form, you get your apex from the jewel form. It's nice and thin underneath, and as you saw, I didn't have to smooth it out because I didn't overly push down on the jewel form. Thanks for watching, and I hope it helps, and I'll see you soon. Bye.